Hello, everybody, and welcome to Elite Weather. My name is Mr. G. I am your meteorologist. Hope you guys had a great weekend because now it's time to talk about the upcoming work week, and we're going to finish off your Sunday afternoon and evening weather forecast as we have a lot of that is going on out there, a whole lot to talk about for the next couple of days. Let's jump into our Weather Today segment and take a look at what's going on at this moment in time across America. And as we look at the radar, we're seeing a very busy day for many folks out there. A lot of areas seeing some heavy rainfall, especially through portions of the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic states, down through the Appalachians, and into the lower Mississippi Valley. We're dealing with some heavy rain and thunderstorms. Some more thunderstorms here across the upper Mississippi Valley through Minnesota and portions of Wisconsin, as well as the upper peninsula of Michigan. We're seeing some showers and thunderstorms right now, and more showers and thunderstorms through the four corner states, and we have those monsoons that's contributing to some flash flooding as well, and into the state of California, the deserts out there, the high deserts, and the lower Sierra Nevada is going to be seeing some of those afternoon thunderstorms from those monsoons as well. We got a few showers and storms through portions of Oregon and Idaho, but it's still in the triple digits out there, so we're seeing some of that rainfall possibly not even hit the ground because it is very hot and dry in some of those interior portions of Oregon and Washington there. Even though we're seeing it on the radar, some of you folks, it may not be reaching the ground. So that is a look at our radar this afternoon, and here is our watches and hazards right now that the National Weather Service has posted across the country. And what we're seeing is a lot of activity on the western half of the nation, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. We have a lot of heat advisories, excessive heat watches, excessive heat warnings in place. So a lot of heat related advisories here. Here's our red flag advisory through most of the state of Montana into portions of the Dakotas as well as Wyoming. So we're seeing that hot weather through that part of the country. We're seeing our flooding issues here through into Southern California. We're seeing our flooding here along the Sierra Nevada as well as in the Vegas area. We saw really some tremendous flooding the other night in Vegas. A lot of flooding down the Vegas Strip even. There's been a lot of heavy rainfall, and those monsoons is causing that flash flooding. We're going to see more flooding through portions of New Mexico today, as well as through Kentucky, where we have some flooding issues from heavy rainfall that's falling in that region. So a very busy afternoon, especially across the western half of the country. And here's a close-in look at all of those watches and warnings through portions of the northwestern part of the United States. So we have, again, that red flag here through portions of Montana. We have our excessive heat watch and excessive heat warning here. Heat advisories in this place. Here we have flooding, so some flash flood watches in place. So through portions of Nevada, we're seeing those monsoons that's contributing to some flooding, as well as a heat advisory over northwestern Nevada. Far northern California, we have excessive heat warning in place. This is an excessive heat watch through portions of the interior areas of Washington, the leeward side of the Cascade Mountain Range. We're seeing that triple digit heat because of ridging that's taking place that's really pulling that warm air in across portions of the Northwest. And here is what we're also seeing, those temperatures. We're seeing those temperatures. This is today's weather for your Sunday. We're seeing those temperatures there in the triple digits. We got 111, so we're seeing some temperatures approach that 110 degree mark there. And for tomorrow, we're going to be seeing those temperatures a couple of degrees cooler, but still out of hand for this region, as we're seeing temperatures approach 108, 101 in Spokane. We're seeing 90 down in Portland, 82 in Seattle. So a little bit cooler in Portland and Seattle, but still hot. But the interior portion is where all the issues is out in these plains out here, these high plains areas of Oregon and Washington, where we're seeing those really high temperatures. And they're going to be starting to spread a little bit to the east there through the state of Montana and toward the Dakotas as we head into Monday and Tuesday. Here we are for Texas. Now, Texas has been dealing with the heat for about the last 27, 28 days, where they haven't been below 100 degrees in the DFW. And we're seeing those temperatures in the triple digits yet again today. We're seeing 102 for Dallas, Fort Worth, as well as Austin and San Antonio. 97 for the folks out there in Houston, as they're seeing a little bit more cloud cover, being that they're close to the Gulf of Mexico, and we're seeing moisture off of the Gulf, spread some clouds, and maybe a thunderstorm across the Dallas, the Texas, the Houston area. And then tomorrow, yet again, we'll see those high temperatures in the low 100s, maybe a couple of degrees cooler from today across Texas. We're going to be a 1 degree cooler across Dallas, Fort Worth, but you get to fall 3 degrees across Austin from 102 to 99 tomorrow, and a couple of degrees cooler in the Houston area as well. So that is a look at the heat across the state of Texas today and tomorrow. Now we're talking about our upper air pattern, and what we're seeing is a lot of ridging across the Pacific Northwest. That's why we're seeing that heat. As you can see, the heat dome in place across the Northwest. That's going to be there for a couple of days. So this is running for the next 36 hours. This run is for, and as you can see, slight troughing in the east. So comfortable weather conditions across the upper Midwest and into the Great Lakes and over toward the Northeast. We're seeing things a little bit more comfortable as we're getting that air coming over the top of the ridge in that northwesterly flow. It's just a tad cooler through the Great Lakes and the upper Mississippi Valley, and we're seeing our heat continue across the desert Southwest and our monsoonal flow. You see that air pattern, how it's coming from the east here off of the Gulf of Mexico, pumping in that monsoon moisture around the Four Corners High across the desert Southwest down there. And that high pressure is going to keep tapping into that Gulf of Mexico moisture. Now we also have Tropical Storm Frank out here that's going to contribute to some moisture as well into the monsoons, and later in the week could even spread some thunderstorms or rain into Southern California as it begins to weaken as it moves into cooler water. But it's going to weaken into a depression. But look how close it is to Southern California. And with that being the case, these things sometimes dissipate and unravel, and some moisture gets pulled into the Southern California coast, and they could see some showers and some thunderstorms from those guys as well. So a little tropical action for the West Coast coming up here over the next few days as well. And as we take a look at your 3-day weather forecast, here's what we're going to have for the remainder of today. We have that heavy rain through portions of the Appalachians and the lower Mississippi Valley and the East Coast over there along the Carolinas through Lake Cape Hatteras. We're going to continue to see that heavy rainfall and some portions of the Northeast as well. So that heavy rain will continue today. The potential for some severe weather here across the upper Mississippi Valley through Minnesota and in western Wisconsin. We could see some severe thunderstorms this afternoon as well. And it's getting pretty cloudy out there right now. I live in the Twin Cities, and it's getting cloudy out there right now. And we do have some showers and thunderstorms in the area to our north, especially in north and west. And some of those guys might swing through later. We're kind of watching those clouds build up out there. And we have the monsoons that's going on across the desert Southwest and into Southern California and through portions of Southern Nevada. We're seeing that flash flooding, and we have our heat into the Pacific Northwest from our ridge that's building in, that's spreading into the high plains into Montana there, and our heat is starting to spread to the east. So later in the week, we're going to be seeing those temperatures rise toward the upper Mississippi Valley and into the Great Lakes today. And tomorrow, what we're going to be seeing is a bit more heat across the northwest again, and we're going to be seeing our monsoons here through portions of Nevada and into California as well. And it's going to continue along the four corners, but a little bit weaker this week than compared to what we saw last week. A little bit further to the west today, that focus that we're going to be seeing early this week from the monsoons, but still some storms here through portions of New Mexico and Arizona and into Colorado and Utah, but just a little bit fewer storms this week. And we'll see that severe weather tomorrow through portions of the Ohio Valley and into Appalachia as well. So we're talking through portions of Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, and eastern Tennessee. We're going to be seeing some flash flooding from some of those thunderstorms in that region. Continue hot across Texas and a dry day across the upper Mississippi Valley tomorrow as well. But we could see some showers and storms here through portions of the Great Lakes and into the interior sections of the Northeast as well tomorrow. And as far as Tuesday is concerned, showers and storms from the Great Lakes and into the Northeast. Some more severe weather possible across the upper Mississippi Valley into portions of Minnesota. Maybe the Twin Cities could see some severe weather on your Tuesday, and more showers and storms across the southeast and the lower Mississippi Valley and into the Gulf Coast and Florida yet again for your Tuesday. But what we do not see here is flash flood issues for Tuesday. We'll have to wait and see, and when I do update forecast tomorrow, we'll see if flash flood language gets added into the weather forecast. And we're going to be seeing some scattered showers and storms through portions of Oregon and into Idaho, lower Montana, Wyoming, as well as Nevada, Utah, and Colorado, as our monsoons ride well up into the Pacific Northwest. So that monsoon moisture, as well as tropical moisture from Tropical Storm Frank, by then will be Tropical Depression Frank, and it's going to be unwinding and moisture getting pulled into the western half of the nation. So those monsoons are going to be enhanced from that tropical storm moisture, from that weakening tropical system out there. And as your severe weather outlook for the next 3 days, this afternoon we have that severe weather shot here across Minnesota and western Wisconsin. Now it is a big if those storms can break through the cap. They're building up pretty good now, so they just might do it. So we could see those thunderstorms, but that severe opportunity here is a big if, and that's if those storms can form. And we'll see the possibility of some heavy rain, induced severe weather through portions of the Carolinas, but we'll see more of those storms extend down through Iowa and to Nebraska as well, and we can see a few severe storms and heavy rain down across southern Arizona today as well. That's for the remainder of this day as we're now coming into Sunday evening. And as far as tomorrow is concerned, that severe weather threat moves from Minnesota and is now in the Ohio Valley into portions of Kentucky as well. We could be seeing that severe weather threat from that region, and some isolated severe from the eastern Great Lakes down through the Midwest and into the northern plains. So that is that potential, and we could see some heavy rainfall, some large hail, and some damaging winds, and maybe an isolated tornado as well. So we haven't seen much in the way of tornado issues over the last couple of days, but we should certainly pick up one in the Ohio Valley region area tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, that severe weather threat returns to the upper Midwest as we're going to have another low pressure center in Canada have a trailing cold front that's going to move across the northern plains and move into Minnesota. It's going to spread that threat for severe weather yet again, and some large hail and damaging wind is going to be your primary threat once again with that severe weather, and a very slight chance of an isolated tornado is going to be possible as well through portions of of the upper Mississippi Valley as we get on your Tuesday. That is a look at your severe outlook. Now here's a quick look at the tropics because it's pretty quiet across the Atlantic. Not much to talk about here. Not much going on off the coast of Africa. Very quiet year in the tropical Atlantic. We're coming up onto the month of August and September, which is usually the busiest month of the Atlantic tropical season, but we haven't had much this year, and it's quiet yet again. Maybe a few storms here, showers here in the Gulf of Mexico, and this wave down here, but it's not expected to develop into anything anytime soon, so very quiet in the Atlantic. Now, in the Eastern Pacific, we do have Hurricane Frank, which is about 80 miles per hour and a minimal Category 1 hurricane, and it's going to dissipate soon and start to drop back down to a tropical storm. And then we have Tropical Depression Claudette, or Georgette, which was a hurricane as well, and is now wandering there. Well, it was a tropical storm. It didn't become a hurricane, but it did become a tropical storm, and it's just wandering around, minding its own business out there right now. And we got this tropical wave right here, but I don't see anything expected to develop out of that guy there. And they don't have it pegged to do anything yet, so we'll have to keep an eye on this guy. But it's going to be moving out into a little bit unfavorable weather conditions out here, so it may not get the opportunity to develop into a tropical depression or anything over the next couple of days. Here's a little bit of info about Hurricane Frank, which is about 80 miles per hour. And as you can see, as far as the last update at 2 p.m. today, it was 80. But by tonight, it's going to drop to a tropical storm, and by 11 a.m. tomorrow, we'll be in a tropical storm. But check it out. Check out this movement. It's moving to the northwest, and it's going to curve in a little bit, and it's going to start to dissipate in this region where there's much cooler water, and it can't sustain a tropical weather system. But we're going to start to see that moisture spread into the southwest, into Northern California, and the Pacific Northwest maybe. And with that prevailing flow, that moisture is going to get caught up in that flow, and we're going to see some rainfall possibilities increase because of the moisture from that tropical system coming off of the coming from the southwest off of California there. So that is a look at the 3-day weather forecast. My name is Mr. G. Thanks for checking me out today, and I will be back tomorrow with another weather update to this forecast, all right? Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.